everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about why it is really crucial to know exactly why it is that you want to recover. It might sound really obvious, but you really need to get crystal clear on the why. I have a lot of people asking me what is the quickest and what is the secret of having successful recovery, and this is what the video is all about. So before I go into that video, if you've not met me before, I am Mel. Hello, and I am a disordered eating expert and therapist. I help women overcome any disordered eating, including bulimia and binge eating, so that they can live the life that they truly deserve by using hypnosis in rapid transformational therapy in order for them to recover rapidly. So if you're interested in this therapy, I'll be leaving the details below this video, and you can also apply for a free assessment call where we will take a deep dive into the challenges that you're facing and how the therapy will tremendously help you overcome them pretty quickly. So today's video, why is it crucial to get your why crystal clear? Everyone says it, but doesn't actually tell you how you get it. And the thing is, working with women who have eating disorders and unhealthy relationships to food for such a long time, when I recommend get your why crystal clear, many of the clients that I work with really don't have a clue how to get their why crystal clear. And does that sound familiar to you? Has anyone said to you, get your why crystal clear, and you're thinking, well, isn't like stopping the eating disorder a good enough why? Isn't it that I don't want to be in pain all day long? Isn't that a good enough why? And I'll go into that a little bit more on this video. So why is it really important before I help you discover what your real why is? And you might find, if you've already got a why, you might find that actually it goes deeper into that. So first of all, why is it important? The reason why it is really important to successful recovery is because this is going to be your secret weapon. So at those moments of weakness, whether or not it's sporadical through the day, or whether or not there's a certain time of the day that you feel at your weakest point, when you have your why crystal clear, this is going to be your weapon to stand up against those horrible, manipulating eating disorder thoughts, the ones that will try its best to break you. You know what I mean? Whatever eating disorder ritual you're stuck in, these are the things that we need to get the why super strong, so that when they come up, you are able to follow through with your recovery strategies. So having not a strong enough why, in my opinion, is like going into battle with a banana in your hand. You really won't stand a chance at those moments of weakness, because the ED thoughts, as you're familiar, they are so powerful that it's just going to eat you alive, not taking any prisoners with it. So some of you might already have a good enough why, and certainly for me, I had a really strong enough why at one point where I really wanted to have a baby. And I knew, even though in my eating disorder mind frame at the time, I knew when logically that having a baby, I needed to look after my body. I needed to start nourishing my body. And it wasn't until I made that why so clear in my head that I began to see changes within the way that I saw recovery. This time I had something to recover for. So even though I didn't have children until way down the line, I made it a focal point that having a child one day, I wanted to give my child, my future child, the best environment. So not only that I wanted to have a good body, I wanted to demonstrate good health. I also at the time I was heavily into smoking, heavily into drinking every night. So there was a lot of things happening, and it was all to do with the root cause, numbing and escaping from feelings. So I did make the strong why that when I eventually want a child, I want to naturally have the environment that I want my child to see. So I wanted to be, or to become, the perfect role model that I would have wanted as a baby myself. The healthy relationship to food, the healthy relationship to my feelings, everything that I imagine the world that I want my baby to come in. So yeah, so maybe you have a why as strong as that. So if you are ambitious, for example, and you really want to get higher and higher in the business that you're in, but you have this unhealthy relationship to food, that it's really distracting you getting your work done, because you obviously, these eating disorder thoughts are there constantly, and especially when you're in a stressful environment, such as in a corporate environment. I know this personally because I also worked in central London in finance, investment banking for over 10 years, and I suffered from an eating disorder for many of those years. In actual fact, I actually suffered from an eating disorder all those years, and I really ruined my career because of it. I could have had a really good career in investment banking because I knew my stuff, but because of how the eating disorder affects everything, not just food, it affected my relationships with my boss. I was either fired or I walked out. I was so angry, and I spent longer than I should on tasks because my mind wasn't with the work. My mind was like, in the clouds. So I would spend late nights there, then I would be very tired, and what happens when I was tired? I ate, and then I spent half the night in the toilets as well. So it was a vicious cycle. So if you are an ambitious person and you really want to get the most out of your life, that could be your why as well. Or if you want to if you're sporty and you really want to be your best athletic build, you want to really excel you want to really excel in sports, you know how an eating disorder really interrupts with your training, how it makes you feel weak, and how if you're going from one end to another, feeling bloated and then feeling like you needed to compensate of that, it's on top of that training. That could be your why as well. And when you have those whys, it's not enough just to have it just like that. Having your why, you really need to put nitro or petrol on it so that that why becomes something that you become obsessed over. So instead of being obsessed on the eating disorder, you make that why the number one priority in your life. You should be breathing and talking and thinking about your why 24/7. It should be driving you to have that healthy, nutritious breakfast in the morning. It should drive you from to get up in the morning, to get changed, to go out for a walk. It should drive you every time you have to make your bed or doing little chores around your home. It should drive you to do everything in your life. That why is your number one thing that you are aiming for in your life. And how do you do that? One of the things is to constantly change the words that you say to yourself. So if you're struggling with having regular eating regimes, or you're struggling to keep food in your body, one of the things that you could do is every time you eat is saying, I'm eating because this nourishes my body. Because if it nourishes my body, I am going to get my promotion. I am building my body for my baby. I am building my body so that I could go for whatever it is that you've got. Do you see what I'm getting at? So everything has to be focused on this why. You can pump it up a little bit more, and I've done this, and I still do this all the time, because obviously once your eating disorder is done, finished, life doesn't stop there and you sit back and it's like, woohoo, that's the life now. No, because you have other challenges, because being part of human is growing, becoming the best you could ever be. And the chances are, if you've got an eating disorder, statistics shows that people who have eating disorders either very creative or are very high achievers, or people who are driven. So these are the characteristics that you have. And one of the reasons why you are suffering from an eating disorder is because you put this pressure onto yourself. And when things don't go quite right, that's like, eating disorder, mind comes in, numbs it, or you escape. That is how it works. So I know you have the drive to do this. So another thing is to create a vision board. Vision boards are, if you've not heard about it, it's basically something that you imagine kids do. You get like a board or a piece of paper, and you cut out pictures and images to represent the future that you want. You can add on their affirmations like, I am a marathon runner. I have a beautiful baby. I have an amazing body. You know, it's whatever makes you feel motivated and inspired. The idea is to put everything, how you imagine, if you had a wish, what would your life look like? If everything was available to you and everything was at your feet, what image of your life would look like? So you could even cut out the picture of the ideal body that you want on there and put your face in there. And I'm not talking about superficial bodies, I'm talking about a healthy body, the kind of clothes that you want to wear, or the kind of places that you want to visit. Maybe it's like you've always wanted to travel, you put things like that. The idea of the vision board is to create this dream that you're aiming for, because it's been proven that the mind changes through stimulation. So the eating disorder, because you've been focusing on 100% on these negative thoughts, that's exactly what you're getting. What we're doing is reprogramming the subconscious mind on the conscious level, and by design, the repetition and seeing these images all the time eventually seeps in, like layers and layers of this seeps into your subconscious mind. And with the feelings, it's like, honestly, it's like superpowers to your subconscious mind. So you look at these things as many times as you can, and as you look at these each items on the vision board, and you can feel the excitement in you, your mind starts creating kind of like circuits in your mind to try and recreate that reality for you. So obviously it's not like woo woo woo, like the beach, you'll get like a magic ticket through the post of like a free holiday somewhere. Some people do, I don't know, I've heard some people do, but what happens is your mind starts opening up to possibilities. And one of the examples that I can share with you is that ages ago I was looking for a specific red car and model, and before I decided I wanted to see this car, I barely saw any red car in this model. But once I made up my mind, this is what I wanted, guess what? It was like everywhere I looked there was this red car in the exact model that I wanted. And I was thinking in the end, I don't want to have this car that everyone's got. But that is the really weird thing about our minds, because once we open up our minds are like little radars. It really finds it for you. So when you start creating the possibilities and putting these images in front, your mind only wants to make you happy, so it looks for solutions. And it might sound really woo-woo, and believe me, I am the most scientific based person that you could ever meet. And it's only like the recent years that I realized how much science and all this woo-woo stuff are really connected, because it has been proven in neuroscience that we only see what we want to see. In actual fact, it would be impossible to see everything that we experience in life because of the information overload. So our eyes are really designed to focus on what's important. And that's why, like in my other videos, that I've said that it's so important to be careful what you feed the mind, because it is so powerful. If you keep putting negative thoughts in your mind, this is what the brain will look for: more negativity, making you feel more, making you feel worse, and then being stuck in that loop of helplessness. So if you're one of the people who really haven't got a clue what your why is, this video is for you. So I have two methods really to find out what your real why is. I don't really want to make this video too long, so in today's video I will share with you one of those methods, and one of those methods is called drilling down. So you start off by asking yourself the very first question. So why is it that you want to stop the eating disorder? So you might say something like, because I want to stop feeling crap. So the thing is, like I said before, our minds are driven by excitement and terror, really. And if that is your why, when it comes to the moment of weakness, you're gonna think, well, I want to stop doing this because I feel shit, but I feel shit now, so I may as well go for the eating disorder. It really isn't gonna stop you from going to that eating disorder ritual that you're used to. It is gonna sound so feeble, so we really want to make that supercharged. So how we do that is by drilling down. So why is it that you want to stop feeling shit or crap or whatever it is? So you would say, I want to stop feeling crap because I want to eat normally. So again, that doesn't sound strong enough. So let's drill down again. I want to eat normally because I want to feel normal. Still too weak. I want to feel normal because I want to live my life again. Getting better. I want to live my life again because I want to be with other people without having food constantly on my mind. Getting better. I want to feel good around other people without food being constantly on my mind because I want to enjoy being around people. I want to enjoy being around people because I want to make life easier. I want life easier because I can really focus on what's really important in my life. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Now here is where it gets tricky, because you feel like you're going round and round in circles. So this is the bit where you add in, it's really important and it is my number one priority. For example, having focus on my life is really important for me and is my number one priority because I want to be happy. Eek! It sounds like we've gone loop all the way around. It's like, I could have said that in the first place. I just wanted to be happy. So a lot of my clients get stuck in this bit, and it's the good bit because it really puts into visual the process of what is important in your life. So really, you just want to be happy, but we really still need to dig deep, and a lot of the ladies that I work with really don't know what makes them happy, and that is the frustration bit. What is it that's going to make them happy? Because if they knew, they wouldn't be in the eating disorder, right? So we're still going to do some more digging, but this time what we're going to do is align the answers by asking questions that forces you to create a projection of the life that you really want. The truth is, we were all born naturally to love something. Whether you are artistic or creative, or someone who loves to problem solve, like scientific, or loves to study about things, or you're a very social person, you love being with other people, or you are an achiever, very ambitious, and you love challenging yourself all the time. And also there's like what they call the reformers, people who like to make changes in the world around them. So maybe activism, or they want to help with Greenpeace or things like that, you know what I mean. So we are all born naturally pulled to one of these characteristics, and reading them out, you will know yourself which one really resonates with you. Which one of those characteristics do you think you fall into? So even if you don't know why you want to stop your eating disorder, it doesn't really matter at the moment, because I will show you through that process of identifying what kind of person you are, we will narrow it down by the end of this method. So follow along with me. Remind yourself what those were. So out of those categories, which one of those resonated with you the most? Which one do you think you are? So are you the artistic one, the creative one? Do you like to do things that with your hands, or do you like designing? Or is it the problem solving, or the social aspects with people, or the overachievers, like the ambitious one, or trying to make this world a better place? Which one of those characteristics do you think you are, that is more you? So once you get to that point, you have picked which ones are those characteristics. Now we can dig deeper again. So let's say, for example, that you chose, you were artistic, you you like to create things. So what is it that you would enjoy? One of the ways to help you is, again, imagine that someone had a magic wand, gave you that wish in your artistic creative world, and you had all the resources available to you. Now, what would you do with that? So let's say you wanted to sell paintings online. That's what you would really want to do. It really doesn't matter whether or not you've got the skill right now. It's what you would love to do. If time was no essence and you had all the resources, what would you do? So, you know, you can be a painter if you wanted to, even if you can't paint at this stage of trying to dig deep on what's most important to you. Just to say, that's not just painting that you could do in creativity. You could have also chosen something like architecture, designing buildings, or fashion, graphic designing. Marketing is also creative, acting in film or radio, script writing, writing books, or drawing pictures in books or children's books, anything like that is creative, really, like trying to think of different ways to express oneself. So that's creative. So it's not just painting or drawing or pottery. So it actually is quite a broad subject. So again, like if you went to paint, I'm not an expert in this, by the way. I just picked one, randomly, and hoping that I can dig deep, because this is not my subject. Now, explode that. So your biggest why would be like selling your work online, selling your painting online. Then you use that, you would love to paint. What is the biggest goal? It would be, really, the dream would be selling your paintings worldwide. Wouldn't that be a dream? So that then becomes your biggest why. And again, it's the end goal. It doesn't matter where you are at this stage. Even if you can't even draw an egg, it really doesn't matter. The chances are, if you wanted to be a painter anyway, I would have guessed that you have a natural ability to do this. I don't know. But if you're passionate enough anyway, like I said, the mind will create that possibility for you. And the only way it's going to do that is if we start building that vision. So now that you have a starting point, we can start creating that vision. So even if it's not so clear at the moment, we are starting the ball rolling and starting to create your life around that point. So now you can say, I want to stop the eating disorder because I want to be an award-winning painter. Really go for the ultimate goal, because it is what excites the mind as well as what traumatizes the mind that really makes drastic changes. And just remember, like I said before, it really doesn't matter where you are, because everything is possible once you have the right mindset. And it's crazy how quickly things happen and develop as soon as you have a vision, a goal, and keep it in front of your face all the time. Because when it's not there, because of life with so many distractions, you forget about it. So now you have a starting point. The starting point is the ultimate goal. You want to be able to sell paintings all around the world. And the only way that you're going to do that is online. So we go backwards this time. So it's like digging deep, but it's really going backwards. So what is the stage right before selling your paintings all around the world would be? So yes, this will require you to take some time out during the day and sit down and write this down on a piece of paper. What is the step before being the painter that sells paintings all around the world? And the way you'll know that is asking a question to yourself. How will I do that? So before selling any paintings around the world, you'll need to have paintings. So again, ask yourself, how will I do that? So before you need to sell paintings, you need to know what type of paintings that you would need to sell. How will you know? How will you do that? You'll need to find out what medium you'd like to be an expert in. How will you do that? I need to try them out. How will you do that? I need to go to classes. How will you do that? I need to research. How will you do that? I need to go on Google or the local shop for their advertising board. So now, not only have you started visualizing the possible future you could have without having the eating disorder, you've now got a roadmap of what you need to do to get to that vision. So now that vision doesn't seem impossible. So now when you have those moments of weakness, you can look at that vision board and you know for sure that this is the life that you want. And not only that, it's not that woo-woo wish it's going to come true. You have done the steps and you know exactly what needs to be done to get that dream. So, and that is only going to be possible if you do not go to those ED thoughts. And the truth is, visualizing it is creating it. And that is a fact. Every single creation that you see all around, including negative thoughts, starts off by visualization. So if you start visualizing your dream, you will start creating it. So like I said, this needs to be your number one priority in your life now. Make your vision boards. Do your vision boards. Put everything you can imagine, this person that you want to be in the future, what their life would look like. And to add an extra boost all around your home, put positive affirmation in. Like, I'm an award-winning painter. I love to have paintings in my home. I am a natural creator of my life. Or I'm just like rambling on. But if you are an artist or whatever chosen goal or dream that you want to go for, these affirmations will come to you naturally, because these are the things that is your dream. So write them down on random post-it notes, write it on your mirror, because all these messages is the subconscious rewiring of your mind. And even if you feel like it's not doing anything, by design our minds start rewiring with the constant messages and pictures and words that it sees. And the only reason that you're stuck in this eating disorder cycle is because you've been focusing on it majority of the time. Let's face it, that is the reason why you're stuck in it, because that is your focus point. So it's now to change that focus on something that you really want and deserve. And to finish off this video, when you have those moments of weakness, ask yourself this question, this one question. And you can use it either way if you want. So if you're tempted to, let's say for binge eating, and you're tempted to go out and binge, ask this question to yourself. If I say yes to binging, that means no to my vision. That means no to my goal. That means no to my dream. That means no to becoming that artist. Or you could say, if I'm saying yes to recovery, if I say yes to eating healthily, nutritiously, if I say yes to feeding my body, if I say yes eating my meal plans, if I'm saying yes to my daily exercise, if I'm saying yes to researching about the things I have to do for my goal, whether it's the art example that I showed you, I'm saying no to the eating disorder. And the more that you practice the behaviors that you want in your dream life, your why, your real why, the more often that you do that every single moment of the day, not just daily, every single moment of the day, the more it supersedes those ED thoughts, the easier it will become. And once the ball starts rolling, just like a little tiny snowball down the hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The momentum will get faster and faster. And the more you practice the behaviors that you want, going for your why, that's driving you away from those eating disorder behaviors, your goals will start feeling stronger. And your attitude, your mental attitude towards your healthier lifestyle, in order to get those goals that you want, every time you do not feed into that eating disorder behavior, they become weaker and weaker and weaker, just like a flower. You're not watering that eating disorder plant anymore. It becomes weaker and weaker and weaker until it's just dead. Doesn't that sound exciting? So I hope you found this video really helpful to try and get your why really crystal clear. And remember, that's method 1. I have got another method which is very similar but just slightly different, and I'll share that soon, I hope, and I'll let you know once I publish that. But in the meantime, I hope you have fun creating your why. Even if you don't know what it is right now, you'll get closer to it. But another thing that you ought to know as well, that even if you feel like, oh, maybe it isn't really my real why, and you're like worried, I don't want to commit myself to this why. Do you know what? It's really not important at this stage. The most important thing is that you've started. It's something that excites you. Even if it's only 90% excites you, it excites you, because what happens is when you have a momentum and when you start putting actions towards a goal, your why starts morphing. It starts having this almost character of its own. It starts maybe, actually, I might not want to paint. I might want to go and be a dolphin trainer. I don't know why that came in my head then, but you just never know the direction this will take you. But the most important thing to remember is just starting. It's those little actions and the motivation and the excitement that you'll be creating in your mind, so that you can create the life that you really deserve and that will make you happy. Enjoy digging deep. Vision boards are really truly fun. You feel like a kid again, because this is the time when you really can make your dreams come true on paper. And with that stage of going backwards, you can see how it can be possible for you too. So on that final note, if you are still struggling with whatever disordered eating behaviors that you're caught in, please reach out to me and apply for a free assessment call where we will take a deep dive into whatever struggles that you're facing, and then I will share with you how you could rapidly resolve those issues by using rapid transformational therapy. So it kind of has a shortcut into the back door to make recovery feel easier for you. So until the next time, I hope you enjoyed that video. Take care. Bye.